Yeah. How many wins do you have to date?
You know, we kind of guess and assume. I know with just Jake and I in the 3 years we were in sports, when we had 75 wins in just the sportsman days, and we've got 20 something in modifieds together. So we're about, Jake and I together, we almost have 100 wins with just Jake and I, and that's the last 5-6 years. Last 5 years. And then before that, I got to be close to around 175, I think. Somewhere in that area.
Plus, you're the track champion at Fonda, so that's also a pretty big deal for that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to win the modified track championship, we won it at Glenridge and at Fonda the same year, and we accomplished both things. In the same year, we also became the first person to win in all 4 divisions at each track. We won the track championship at the street stocks, pro stocks, sportsmen's, and modifieds, both at the same track.
Nice. Have you been watching any of the iRacing lately?
Very little. I don't. I always seem like I miss it, and it doesn't last very long. It seems
yeah,
like,
they're pretty quick
races.
races.
NASCAR race.
Yeah.
Click it on, and 3 hours later you can go and watch the feature. So I haven't watched a ton of it. I watched bits and pieces, and after the whole Larson deal, it doesn't really spark my interest much. Larson was my driver, so to have him not be on there, kind of takes away from it a little bit.
Yeah. What goes through your mind when you're like spinning out and like potentially crashing?
Thankfully we don't have a whole lot of that happen, knock on wood. There's times like last year, I think it was last year, Wilder got spun in the middle of the backstretch, and all of a sudden we couldn't see, and I think Stewie and I were racing through the field, and all of a sudden in the last seconds the action cleared, and there was Wilder sitting sideways in the backstretch, and ended up getting collected up with him. And it's just like, sometimes it happens so fast, especially in a modified. Things happen so much more faster. You don't have time to really react or think a lot of times. There's been times I've had time to think about it when I've spun out before, and sometimes I'm thinking, oh boy, I hope Jake didn't see that, or I just kind of hope that somebody can blame it on somebody else and kind of pat it on the back. But a lot of times it's embarrassing at this point, especially at this point here, how long I've been racing. But it doesn't happen very often, thankfully, and a lot of times it's OSHIT.
So what, and for you, because you've been racing for so long, what is your best racing memory? Like, what's your favorite racing memory out of all of them? If there's multiple, please go ahead.
Well, the mile is hard. It's hard to top winning at the mile. It's hard. My first modified win, obviously, my first win period back in it was July 6, 2002 was my first ever win. You probably weren't even born yet, were you?
No.
Were you born?
No.
Yeah, see, I won my first race before you were born.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so it's probably my first win, and then, Syracuse. There's a lot of them that go in between, the Outlaw 200 weekend in the sportsman division. There's a lot of things that happen. It happens so fast that a lot of times I'm just looking forward to the next race, so I don't really get to cherish a lot of times. But I think my first Syracuse one would probably be one of the biggest. And it didn't even really hit me until probably 2.5, 3 months later. I was Derek Covey there, Images by DC, gave me a packet of photos, looked through to order some stuff, and I sat on the edge of my bed one night, and I'm looking, I'm like, we won Syracuse, and the thing was that when I was just looking forward to the next thing, I won the race. I hurried up, loaded up my truck and trailer, and tried to beat the traffic out of there, and I left, and I got thinking, like, I probably should have stayed and hung out with the people. We were all excited about winning Syracuse, and I was jetted out of there to go home because I want to get home before the traffic. So, but yeah, there's a lot of things. Like I said, first wins most of the time, usually the biggest ones.
I can understand why. How did you get your nickname, the Squirrel?
From Jimmy Ellis, actually. When I was a street stocker, I always finished like 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and they always put the winner or top 3 in the newspaper. And I was like, hey, why don't you top 5 or something in the street stock class? You do it for the modifieds and stuff. And he goes, I'll make a deal with you. And I said, what's that? He goes, I'll write top 3 if you put Rocky the Flying Squirrel on your roof. I'm like, Rocky and Boeing. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do that. I put it on my roof, and then that was from Jimmy Ellis. That was per his request for the newspaper. And as soon as I did it, Jim King seen it, and off with it. You know, Jim King used to walk the pit areas before the races and get info on his drivers. And when he did that, he's seen on the roof, and he took off with an announcer tower, and it's stuck. It's very clicky. You know, people like it, and it's been a good thing for us.
So I have a couple other questions about that. My mom wanted to know, shout out to her, is your name actually Rocky? She wanted to know.
Tell your mom she could have asked me that at like a football game or something. She didn't have to ask me on live TV here, you know. No, it's not really Rocky.
Okay.
I'm named after my father and grandfather.
Okay. What other hobbies do you enjoy besides racing?
Just doing stuff with the kids, really, whatever. I mean, I do everything. I play baseball, basketball. I mean, I'm not the best at all the stuff, you know, obviously, but probably RC car racing in the wintertime with the kids. We do a lot of RC car racing. Like I said, we do all kinds of stuff out with the kids, you know, we kickball, whatever. So, but probably RC car would probably be the next hobby in line.
Yeah, I don't have the interest of that. I mean, I like the RC cars. It's tough to like. Okay, if you don't have like people to race against, it's one of those things like, well, do you want to keep doing it and all that? But
no, I get it. On Sundays, there's quite a bit of people that go down. There's actually a track right up here, the go-kart track they've built now, Foxtrot they call it, right at the go-kart track here in Johnstown that they do on during the summertime, obviously.
Would you ever consider racing Volusia in Florida or Eldora? Eldora.
I would definitely race both. I would definitely do both. I want to race everywhere and anywhere. Biggest thing is it's hard to make business sense of it. You know, I don't drive for myself, obviously, so I can't just pick up and go. You know, it's very expensive to do it, especially in a modified division. Yeah. Even Charlotte, you know what I mean, is probably pretty much out of our range unless I had a ride for it. You know, Jake doesn't want to go. He looks at how much it costs versus how much you can take in, and
it's a lot.
Really, there's not much to gain by going there. So it's not. You know, he looks at the whole aspect and doesn't think very positively about it.
Yeah, and I went there in February for Daytona and all that because me and my dad go there for the 500 and all, and we went to Volusia, and like Jack Lehner said the other night, when you you probably feel the same way. When you guys go to big tracks like Charlotte and Eldora and all these tracks, you guys kind of feel like the street stocks out there because you guys are up in the Northeast, and a lot of people are from all over the place, and they don't know anything about it, what a big block modified even is. And when I went to Volusia, the late models were there when the big blocks were there, and when the late models have Davenport and McCready and all them guys, when those guys were done, modifieds came on the track, and there was half the amount of people that were there were gone already. And I kind of just felt, it's kind of tough. That's why I understand for you guys, it's probably tough because you guys, like, big block modifieds are not like as well known like out in like California and all that stuff. So it's like, I understand why Jake probably would say it's kind of tough. But yeah, it's a pretty fun experience all in all though. Especially when you got your fans from New York that come to you and say, hey, it's Rocky and stuff. And then it's pretty cool. Because Stewie, when I was there, Stewie like called me by my name because he knew me from around. So it was pretty cool. And yeah. So.
Sure. No, definitely. It is. It's kind of like, you know, they're the track packers, I guess. So, but you know, it'd still be a cool experience to be down there. I guess. You know, you got to do at least once to say you did that. I think to have be able to tell war stories when you get older and you can't race. You know.
Yeah, Speed Weeks. Speed Weeks is definitely one of the best things down in Florida that they have down there.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your favorite part of racing like Malta and Glenridge, like the short tracks?
The experience. I mean, really, racing tracks, you're on the wheel the whole time. You know what I mean? You come out of a corner, you don't even have the time to take a breath, and you're right back to the next corner. You know what I mean? Which makes it really cool. You got to, you know, build your corner speed, and you really gain a lot of knowledge as far as racing door to door with somebody, not using them up or getting used up. You know, both ways. You know, so there's a lot of positive experience to come from that. You know, on the short track race.
Okay, that sounds good. I don't really have any much questions left. I'd like to thank you for your time for being on the show today. Hopefully we can get racing as soon as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you going to be racing Canandaigua this weekend? Are you practicing up there?
We have no plans plans to take a car up there. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm assuming with the weather.
And all this.
Canandaigua's issue is not above all the other issues. Is their pit area is very wet and it's grass, like most places, and it holds a lot of moisture. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like the pit area is one of the lowest parts of the track, so it's kind of it's gonna be tough to get the haulers on the property, get them off the property safely without sinking. So I'm assuming they're probably not gonna go this weekend. I think they're probably gonna wait a week or two and then go at it again, get some nice warm weather to dry things up a little bit. But probably won't go up there to practice. I mean, I might. We'll see what happens. You never know. Jake might feel generous and let us go. If he does, we'll be there. You know, like I said, I like to race everything anytime I can. You know, if I could race 7 nights a week, I'd do it.
Like I said, Rocky, thanks for your time today. I appreciate it. Good luck
Thanks
this
for
year.
having us, buddy.
Yep, good luck this year.
Thank
Yep.
you very much.
Yep. All right. See ya.
See you later, man.
And that is interview with Big Block Modified champion Rocky Borner. Please subscribe to my channel and comment and all that. And yeah.